The trial of Sean Diddy Combs began not with noise but with a suffocating silence. A silence so heavy that even the faint hum of the courtroom lights felt like thunder. All eyes turned to the screen as the prosecution unveiled their opening evidence. A hidden camera video showing Diddy in a dimly lit study, his figure hunched over a leather-bound book, his hand gliding across pages with meticulous intent. He was writing names, each one marked with disturbing precision, pausing to circle certain ones with deliberate strokes as though declaring judgment. Then the screen froze on one name that sent shockwaves across the room. Leonardo DiCaprio, circled in furious red ink, marked priority. Gasps rolled through the spectators, and jurors shifted uneasily, their expressions frozen between disbelief and dread. The prosecutor's voice rang out like a blade across the silence. Ladies and gentlemen, this was not a journal. This was a blacklist. That single line turned the trial into something more than a legal proceeding. It became a reckoning, continues exactly as I gave you before, ending with. The trial had only begun, but already its weight was unbearable, the air heavy with questions. Was Leonardo alive? Who else was on the blacklist? And just how deep did Project Babylon run? Ben Affleck's testimony came like a thunderclap, his presence on the stand commanding the attention of everyone in the room. His eyes weary yet sharp, as if carrying secrets too heavy for one man to bear. He described a tunnel system beneath one of Diddy's lavish estates, a hidden passageway that led to locked chambers containing notebooks, drives, and recordings, artifacts of control. Affleck produced one notebook that chilled the room with its simplicity. More names will fall. He explained how he stumbled upon it during a party gone wrong, where whispers turned into confessions, and how he had kept it hidden out of fear for years. The implication was undeniable. Diddy was not acting alone. He was part of a network, an empire that stretched its tentacles across Hollywood, politics, and finance. The defense countered with scoffs, branding Affleck's story as drunken fantasy. But their jeers could not erase the unease that clung to his words. Continues expanding through Affleck Adam Sandler's testimony of manipulation and blackmail cloud footage of Diddy ordering violence defense struggles jurors react public outrage rising. The prosecution escalated with evidence no one expected. Financial records. Documents showed hundreds of millions siphoned into offshore havens, not just to dodge taxes but to ensure victims could never claim restitution. Therapy funds, reparations, the shattered futures of those broken in the system. All pilfered while Diddy smirked from the comfort of his empire. The gallery erupted with outrage. Those millions belonged to Cassie, to Shine, to every victim he broke. Read one trending post flashed on a screen outside the courthouse. Then came the whistleblower, a former security guard who had guarded Diddy's infamous glass cage. His testimony ripped away the last illusions. It wasn't just a cell, he said, his voice trembling. It was a torture chamber. Victims were starved, drugged, and reprogrammed until they forgot who they were. His words landed like hammer blows, shaking the jury. Gasps, cries, even threats from the audience forced the judge to call for order. And then came the twist. The guard hinted at a tech billionaire, a silent partner funding safe houses in Dubai and the Caribbean, one whose identity remained sealed but whose shadow loomed over the trial. The suggestion of Silicon Valley's complicity turned the narrative from scandal to apocalypse. Continues building with Diddy's breakdown in prison. Daughter leaving courtroom crying. Hashtag let him rot trending. Fury spreading globally. As the trial reached its boiling point, the focus shifted to Jennifer Lopez, summoned for deposition. The question hung heavy. Would she shield herself and protect the empire, or would she crack and expose the machinery? Every camera lens outside the courthouse pointed at her. Every headline screamed anticipation. Inside, Pitt, Affleck, and Sandler, unlikely warriors bound by fear and courage, stood as the trial's backbone, risking everything for the voiceless. Cassie's testimony loomed, Shine's name echoed, Leonardo's fate remained unknown. Each revelation painted Hollywood not as a dream factory, but as a furnace where power devoured innocence. The jurors looked hollowed, scorched by the images, the testimonies, the confessions. The defense fought desperately, trying to recast everything as fiction, a masterclass in manipulation, but the weight of authenticity was crushing. And yet, amid all the certainty, the trial carried an unsettling ambiguity. Were all the documents real? Were all the witnesses untainted? Or was the truth woven with just enough lies to keep everyone guessing? That ambiguity turned the trial into something greater than itself, a story where no one watching could say with confidence that they knew the whole truth. As the final recess was called, the judge reminding the room that more names would be revealed, the courtroom dissolved into chaos. The world outside trembled, jets fueled, secrets unraveling, the elite running from the fire that now burned too brightly to smother. And as the credits of the day's testimony closed, one message flashed across every screen, whispered in every corner of social media. This isn't just a trial, it's a reckoning.